howdy, and welcome. It is Thursday, so this must be Thursday live. Okay, all the stuff you want to talk about live that you didn't know you wanted to talk about live. We're gonna be compartmentalizing tonight in certain areas and expanding in others. I have been now as I speak in conversations with comrades of mine, longtime friends, childhood chums, if you will. And I guess the Charlie Kirk thing is what sparked all of this conversation. So since y'all here, I can give you my honest opinion. It's me. So y'all know. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about tonight. And I don't want to mire and muck it up with a bunch of political rhetoric. Yeah, I mean, because I am truly, honestly, and sincerely not here for that. Okay, I want to have a good time too, damn it. But let's go ahead and get this out the way. Well, first, man, I'm gonna talk to the Rock With Me Nation because y'all, first and foremost, I want to say what's up. Shouts out to Groovy Fee. What's going on, my guy? Kamoyo King in the building, president of the Black Panther fan group. Bam. Grand Madam Tarot, my dear sister, fellow content provider. Y'all pop in. She got some lives that are very stimulating. And my brother Theo, what's going on? Mr. Ray Smith in the building. What's going on, y'all? What's happening? All right, okay. Get out of the way. And I tell it to you like I done told everybody else today that had something to say or discuss or kick to me about this Charlie Kirk thing. First of all, that is some gnarly ass video of my man getting unalived. I have seen it up close before, but I understand why people get PTSD. I'll put it like that. It's one thing, you know what I'm saying, to see it on TV and some fantasy shit, you know what I mean? But like, you know, that's for real. And you know what I'm saying? My lady don't even want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way it looked and, you know, all of that. And just that part. Okay. In real, honest, for sure life, I ain't checking for Charlie Kirk was in my peripheral when he was alive. Okay, so there was I heard, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Charlie Kirk said this. Oh, Charlie Kirk said that. Oh, Charlie Kirk was on Jubilee. So, you know, that's where I was with it, you know, and that's where a lot of people were. And it seems like folks who were fans of him. Sorry, I didn't understand. Hush, child, hush, child, hush. Okay. She likes to help. Anyway, I and separate the two things. Charlie Kirk's life, Charlie Kirk's death. Charlie Kirk's life, I didn't really give a damn about it because I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was not checking for the man like that. I was not, honest, on my kids. I was not checking for the dude like that. He didn't fascinate me to the point where I needed to dig and delve and dive and you know what I'm saying, get the inside skinny on the dude. Now, as far as how he went, not how I choose to go, not how I would want to go. And again, condolences to his family and anybody else associated with him. I ain't down with that. I don't like it. I don't, you know what I'm saying, on no level. But here's the thing. Things like this cause hysteria. Okay. Let's move past those events and let's also focus on the fact that we're not talking about another shooting incident that went on about an hour after that, nor are we talking about the Epstein files. Remember a couple of weeks ago when I did a show and I told you not to be distracted? I'm not saying don't pay attention to that, but if I never had any focus on it in the first place, I'm right back at where the Epstein files. Or why aren't you paying more attention to people getting shot up than you are trying to get rid of what you construe to be illegal immigrants? See, now you got Korean people that don't want to F with you no more because of that incident. You see what I'm saying? What? Here's the question I've asked everybody. And everybody seems to not really care. But and I'm gonna get to the question in a second. But let me just wrap this. Not how I would want it to go, not how I want anybody to go. Okay, but to get mad at Black people because they don't care, or to just go all conspiracy theory and say it was a trans Democrat. Most of the shooters have been trans. The last two. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Oh, all he did was talked about marriage and God and life. I watched videos. I ain't seen none of that. What I saw was this snarky, arrogant mug that talked over people or thinks being louder than a person in a debate means you're right. No, it doesn't. Just because I talk louder than you doesn't mean I'm correct. Just because I talk over you doesn't mean I'm correct. Just means I'm passionate. Okay. Other than that, I ain't really got too much to say about the man. You know what I'm saying? His life or his passing. I really don't have too much to say. I mean, I know people expecting me to drag him or say, oh, he said this, that, and the third, and he said, yeah. You know what I will say? What I will say, and this is the last thing that I have to say about this man. This is a quote. Yes, people die from gun violence. It's tragic, but that's the price of freedom. Unfortunately, it's worth it to keep the Second Amendment intact. You know who said that? Charlie Kirk. That's called karma, ladies and gentlemen. That's called whatever you want to call it. But that's real stuff right there, is it not? My question, who stands to gain from this country being divided? Because that's what it is. And that's the question we need to be asking. Not about trans, not about liberals, not about conservatives. That all that shit is smoke and mirrors to keep us distracted from asking the questions we really need to ask. And that's one of the questions right there. See, we don't get to the nitty gritty and ask these questions because we choose not to be real with ourselves. We choose not to express ourselves as our most honest, naked, sincere version of who we are. You know what I mean? So, who stands to gain from rich hating on poor, white hating on black, straight hating on LGBTQ, Marvel hating on DC? Who stands to gain from division? LJ Panther in the building. I just saw you. Paul Martin, what's going on? I see y'all having y'all little wind up. Here we go. Kamoyo King said, I personally don't like the Steven energy. That's a Django reference for those that don't know. Of some black folks who are doing the sympathy play to show whites they are good Negroes. Yeah, I've been talking to one all day today via text. But yeah, said he was the best thing since sliced bread, but I don't want to get into it. As far as how divided are we? When I say division, Kamoyo, I ain't just talking about us. Okay? It's going to take more than just us to realize and recognize and bring to fruition what people truly want in this country. Because that is not going to come from one ethnic group alone. If we are in this country together, then it stands to reason we got to get along. Separate but equal ain't going to work for everybody. That's what a lot of folks don't understand. I can be separate but equal, but being separate deprives me of a lot of stuff. I can get my own, but I ain't going to have what somebody else has. And how do I know if I don't need it if I ain't never had it? ... I ain't a socialist, but I mean, if that's what people want to do, that's fine. Development and growth, at least in our group, has come when we are separated and we see astronomical growth and development. Because contrary to popular belief, we get along with us. For the most part, I am not upset about how we get along with us. I'm about until these communities start to flourish and pop up again, we still got to deal with. So the best way to deal with them is to deal with them. You're asking yourself, is his name on the Epstein list? Wow. Okay. I feel bad about his wife. However, it's like a mob wife or kingpin wife. You know who you lay with. I'm not finna celebrate. I'm gonna do the iced tea thing from New Jack City. And I do you one better than that. That's what I do because that's where I am. Honestly. And in the immortal words of Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. Because I ain't really trying to run too far with it. Y'all know what I'm saying? I ain't really trying to, turn it in. I ain't trying to get on no platform. That's why I ain't do no video with it. I mean, God bless you if a video is what you felt like you needed to do, but I ain't really, you know what I'm saying, trying to. I'll tell you what I am into. I tell you what I do want to talk about. It's bothered me for a number of years, and I'll be honest with you. I love professional football. I love the Kansas City Chiefs. I love watching football, but the NFL as a whole, it gives off racist energy. Some of the decisions, some of the things people say, some of the things people do, the dynamic, who should get this, who should be allowed to do that. A lot of that the math don't be mathing sometimes when it comes to football. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Byron, what's up, my brother? Thank you for popping in, sticking your head in the building. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Do what you do. Get that money. But what they say on Players Club, make that money, don't make that money make. Yeah. My dude. Okay. My man said plantation vibes. All right. I guess it's up to me. Like I was saying, there are more black coaches in the NFL than there have been ever. But it should not have taken this long for the shit to happen. And after what we just saw perpetrated with Shador, but yeah, it's that mentality. But yet and still we pulling up on Sunday. So why am I even having this conversation? Why, when we know we just gonna watch the football games on Sunday? Why talk about it? Why, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Mr. Smith, let's call it what it is, man. What is that? You know, Shador Sanders ain't had no business going in the 5th round. 5th. That's what y'all thought of the man. Because it had nothing to do with his accomplishments. Nothing. You just didn't like the way he talked. You just didn't like that he was cut the same mold that his daddy. He could talk that ish and back it up. If that's what your daddy taught you, then that's what your daddy taught you. Why are you mad about it? Because you didn't teach it to your son. You didn't teach your son to have no swag. You didn't teach your son to be able to be a man, to be able to back up his talk. If he backed it up, y'all loved it. Y'all loved it way back when Joe Namath did it, when Joe Namath sat on television before anybody even lined up against each other and said he guaranteed the Jets was going to win the Super Bowl. Y'all was eating that up. So, but I've often asked why do we go to Ole Miss? None of us should be at that school considering who they're Shador could still end up being better than brothers drafted in round 1. He could, but not if he don't get a chance to get his ass on the field. And at third string, probably not going to happen. At least not in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? That GM got the that GM can, if Jerry Jones can come down from the GM spot and say, put that man on the field, why can't the GM of the Cleveland Browns do that? Sit Joe Flacco's old ass down and put Shador in there. What they gonna do? Say no? Yet here we are. He is way better than, yes, he is better than Dylan Gabriel. But he's not the... Bruh, that ain't got nothing to do with skill. Me and you both know that, Mr. Smith. It has absolutely nothing to do with one man's skill over the other. That's somebody saying. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, do you remember the movie Which Way Is Up? With Richard Pryor? As long as Richard Pryor said what they told him to say and did what they told him to do, oh, you get a company car. Oh, you get this plush apartment. Oh, we gonna pay you nice. Oh, you can have you a side piece across town. Oh, you can still have your girl. You can have it all, long as you do what we say. As soon as you stop doing what we say, that's that situation. And see, except Shador never did what they said. Shador did what Shador wanted to do and kept doing what Shador wanted to do. They still cost him money, Mr. Smith. He won't make that back, regardless of how he plays. His next contract will start off with him being a 5th-round pick. Boom. And there it is. And that's all they wanted to do. Anything they can do to destroy or lessen generational wealth. Oh, but that's a different conversation. Juju in the building. What's up, Superfan in the building. What's up, Juju? My God, what's going on? What's going on with you? I'm gonna pop out these variants here in a minute. So you might want to stick around, my brother. Yes, we remember the NIL money, but the NIL money ain't got nothing to do with the NFL money. Nothing. I can have both. That's the whole purpose of it being around. So I can start earning money while I'm in college. That's all that is. It don't say I can't earn money in the NFL. So double dipping's all that is. I like banana splits. So I'm gonna get a double scoop. So that is what it is. We good over there with that? Are we good over there with that? I mean, there's y'all seen just with this recast the child stuff. There's power in numbers. If you can get people, and that's a hard sell. Oh, it's a hard sell. Trying to tell some folks, don't watch no football. Can you imagine how many people you have to fight if you if you told people don't watch no football on Sunday? Hell, don't watch no football on Saturday. Oh, they'll be mad as hell. Like, no, don't. I mean, what other alternative do we have? We just gonna take it? I've often thought about that. We hate it. We despise everything it represents, but do we have the... I don't know a lot of men can do that. I don't know how. I ain't saying there aren't any, but there aren't a lot of men that can do that. Unless they're involved in church. I see you out there, Mr. Smith. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got time. It's because church going on while football games is on. So it's like that's perfect. That works out just fine for me. Oh, you say you saw more shit. Yeah, I mean, well, but you'll be seeing a lot more, Caleb Williams, sir. A whole lot more. Call out the racism loudly, is what Kamayo say, who is also a super fan. Anyway, what's that look like? I mean, just how about this? How about this? We start at our house. What's that look like in the Rock With Me Nation? I mean, speaking for me and Theo, that's some of our content. We'd be taking away content from ourselves. But I mean, what is it really? When we say we really supporting the interests and beliefs of equality and equity, should we be supporting the NFL? Ask yourself that. I've been saying, and that's coming from somebody who likes the NFL, somebody who watches football. So I mean, I sure ain't trying to lord it over nobody or say I'm better than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just as much a sinner as everybody else. But I'm saying at this point, do we plant our feet in the ground and stand firm, just like we've stood firm on other topics and said we're gonna be one and say no? Just a thought, y'all. Like, fuck that, I'm watching Philly and Kansas City. Theo said, as Mr. Smith would say, I can observe the NFL without paying the NFL. Okay, then that means watching televised games after their broadcast, not live. Because if you watch a game live, then by virtue, unless you're watching it on a streaming service, yeah, the heck you are paying them. If it's commercials. Anyway, Paul Martin say I can boycott LOL the afternoon games when my team loses. My mood is F the other games. I was like that for a long time, where I would only watch like Chiefs games. But I've only been in that position for a little while because the Chiefs weren't doing as good as they were like 10, 15 years ago because they sucked in 10, 15 years ago. So you wasn't seeing Chiefs games as often as you as you see them now. At least I wasn't. Kamoyo, we just discussed that on my TikTok live. Unilaterally calling our racism loudly. Yeah, because that what we call out the racism loudly. That's what he said. So got it. Many of us boycotted the MCU, but still bought Marvel Comics. I can't say nothing. I mean, yeah, what? See, Paul Martin, I don't like you. Oh, it's a cold pill to swallow, my friends. Goodness gracious. We are having fun. If you are just pulling up to the stream, we already had our Charlie Kirk discussion. We were kind of discussing racism in the NFL and what to do about it. Dive in. Feel free to drop your 15 cent worth in, because this is the Rock With Me Nation, and we don't tell people what they shouldn't be saying. That being said, what up, Ronnie J? He said, I only watch the NFL games through highlights. All right, okay. All right, okay. That's an option. MCU and Marvel Comics are not the same. One sucks and another is on the road to sucking. Hey, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I do know what to tell y'all, but sometimes folks don't want to hear the prophecy. Hey, say I'm guilty too. I was angry at Feige. Yeah, I know. Huh? Chicago girl, right? Eve Ewing is cute. She better not never show up on Friday Vibing. I might be. Anyway. I'm about to get in trouble. Anyway, I can push back on that, Mr. Martin, because the comic book purchases didn't help the MCU. That's documented facts based on the MCU's financial losses. Please, let's not conflate the two to justify action. Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, stop it. You're supposed to be helping. You're supposed to be helping. Oh my goodness. Y'all, see, get me in trouble out here. Y'all gonna get me in trouble out here. Nah, I can't. Nah, see, because Lord. There's this one picture, and just I'm gonna stop because I'm thinking and visuals is popping up, and I'm gonna stop. Anyway, what he said nope. Oh, in other news, someone likes my shirt. Thank you. I'm glad somebody noticed this. I saw this shirt on eBay. And I was like, that is probably one of the roughest, toughest lineups of Justice League ever. You'd have a hard time bringing that group down, because that group is a very copious combination of both skill and power. All right, y'all. Oh my goodness. Somebody gonna go tell. Somebody gonna go tell. I know they is, because they always do. They always do. I'm gonna just do the top part, because you heathens don't deserve the bottom part. They like, what? Show us. I got too many images in here. But say stop that. Got to be more careful. No, not that. All right, I promise I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. I promise. A second. Okay. It would be a good thing though, because this week, as far as I can tell, we have only had one female guest on our show. So yeah, it would be an awesome experience if we could. Um, like I said, see, y'all got dirty minds. I don't. I was looking from purely professional perspective. Professional. Understand? And I mean, how often do we? She looks happy in that picture. She looks like somebody sincerely made her smile. Anyway, I'm stop because that is not what we're here for tonight. Right? Rock with me, nation. Yes, they will. You would like to hear from her about what, Mr. Smith? You would like to hear from her about what specifically? I will just burst everybody's bubble right now and tell you the woman's married. So all that goes out the window. Ain't gonna be no, hey, can I holler, and I'm gonna shoot my shot and all that kind of thing. Because I mean, what if somebody was shooting their shot at your wife? How would you feel about that? Ray Smith said Black Panther. Okay, okay, okay. She looked like she smelled good with cute feet. Wow. Okay. So now I know what a woman with good feet, with cute feet, and smell good should look like. Thank you, sir, for putting me on the path of wisdom and enlightenment. And Nancy said, any shirt with Vixen on it is always an automatic win. My dude, I got two. I got two shirts with Vixen on it. So I'm double winning. Yay me. Thank you. Welcome to the dance, brother Nancy. You know what? True story. I did reach out to e-viewings people and I never heard anything back. I had to like join like some email group or something like that. Some old jumping through hoops type ceremonial stuff. I mean, and I get it. She's busy. She's a professor. She's writing comic books. She ain't got time to be bullshitting around. I get all of that. But hit me back. At least with when I was dealing with I don't want to talk about the quality of people's assistance. Because I don't want nobody coming back for me talking about what you say about my assistant. My assistant is wonderful. I don't want nobody saying nothing like that. But Joseph Illage's assistant dealing with her was a joy. You know what I'm saying? She got back promptly, told me what, can we do this? Nah, we can't do this. Can we do this? All right, so then can we do that? And they're like, okay, all right, we might be able to work that. Wonderful. Can we pencil this in? I like it. Business. Get to the business of the business and be done. Don't be running me around in those circles or ghosting me. You know what I'm saying? Because it make me think, okay, all right, you'll rock with them people over there. You'll rock with these people up here. You'll rock with them people over there, but you won't rock with us. Different strokes for different folks. But you still cute. That's about all I can say. Paul Martin says, someone who works in a library, I stay drooling over these fine contemporary Black female authors. Okay. Okay. I see you. Okay. Said we need Vixen in live action, not that overdressed millennial Vixen from Arrow. I kind of liked her. They needed. Nah, I take that back. She bucktooth. Ain't nothing wrong with being bucktooth if you bucktooth. I'm just saying you shouldn't be Vixen if you bucktooth. That's what I'm saying. We get a better match. Right? We get a better match. My thing been going off all night. I got to work on these notifications. Hey, y'all. I've thought about my reviews, my comic book reviews, and I have decided, much like many other people, to do my comic reviews a lot shorter, but then have a live where we discuss the books I did reviews on. So when you know what we're doing reviews on, you can rock with it. Feel me? So that being said, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of comic books that I will be doing a review on soon. Okay. Have I did it already? Let me go check my page, man, because I'm not one hundo that I didn't. You could just go and look, and I am looking, and I do not see. How did I do? Captain Planet number 2, and I do Captain Planet number 3. I do Speed Racer number 1, but I know do Speed Racer number 2. Okay, and Wonder Woman number 11. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. You need Jada Parker. That. But you know what? I find the problem always is the people who can physically play a role don't have believable enough acting chops to pull it off. I always said Jay Cargill could play so many characters if she focused a little more on acting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't saying wrestling's your bread and butter, but do some acting, fool around, and get your feet wet and acting so you can get a little experience. I mean, Will Smith had no official acting training. Everything he learned from other actors. I'm not saying that ain't the way to do it, but well, then if Jada can act, Jada need a better agent then. That's the only thing I ain't there. Because if she looked the part and we know she gonna knock it out the park acting wise, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it. So I'm glad somebody agrees with me. That's Speed Racer number 2. by David Pepos and David Tinto. The art in this joint is very nice. I mean, look at that picture of the Mach 5. Okay. All the focus is on here. Check this out. This is the Mach 5 using button A. Right there. Everybody, say it with me. Nyah, 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 nyah. Yep, that's the sound that it made when it jumped. But and guess who's pulling up in the next issue? How you like that new look for Racer X? Y'all feeling that look, that different look for Racer X? That's dope, man. I like it. I like it. Pop quiz. What number did Racer X have on his vehicle? And what was his vehicle called? A Mach 5 for 6-inch figures. I believe there is one out there, sir. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe there is a Mach 5 for like 112, 110, 112 scale, somewhere around there. Also, say Rick look gangster. Also, Absolute Wonder Woman number 11. When we last left you, Wonder Woman was drugged and she was down in the pit in a labyrinth fighting who? We don't know. She's drugged. So we get her perspective, her view of the fight. This is Wonder Woman. I'm for lack of a better name, I'm going to say this is Absolute Wonder Woman on LSD. But what I love about Absolute Wonder Woman is she uses magic. She's not so much like a magic practitioner as Wonder Woman uses magic, or Absolute Wonder Woman uses magic the same way Batman uses gadgets and tech. Perfect definition. I love being me. As my mother made me, this is the penultimate issue. There's a lot of because there's flashbacks. It seems like every comic book I read nowadays, the characters are having flashbacks. Kamala King, number 9. Paul Martin, number 9. Yes, number 9 was the number on Racer X vehicle. And what was the name of the vehicle? Something. Shooting Star, Shining Star, something. Which one was it? Was it the Shining Star or was it the Shooting Star? I love these kinds of interaction because my brain just has tons of useless knowledge stored up in it. Anyway, Absolute Wonder Woman 11. Like I said, it has a flashback. There are a lot of conversations where she's talking to Athena, the goddess of the hunt. And Athena manifests herself in the form of a wolf. Again, love the art. That's a fine looking wolf. Trust me, I know. I live in Alaska. Again, a lot of magical stuff going on. And Diana finally meets another Amazon. Oh, Io is her name. And she comes from a group of Amazons. So all this is going exactly. This is what I'm saying to you. Wonder Woman got some stuff popping off, y'all. It is really worth reading. And for you, Juju, variant cover. See, I'm kind of you kind of got me, meddling with the variant covers and whatnot. Now, I've always liked it's got to be a variant cover to move me if I'm gonna get that on top of already having that issue. Because if I want to read it, you get it. It's a comic book thing. And also, I don't know where I put it. It should be over here with the other one, but for some strange reason, it's not. Captain Planet #4. I probably left it downstairs, but Captain Planet #4. Also by my friend David Pepos. Wheeler gave Plunder his ring, and Plunder was able to duplicate the matrices using other metals of what the 5 rings that Gaia gave them do. So in other words, say it with me, everybody. Captain Pollution. So does that mean eventually we're gonna? But how can we see a fight between Captain Pollution and Captain Planet if one of the rings Captain Pollution is using to manifest itself is one of Captain Planet's rings? Linka and Wheeler are starting to that energy. You know how we knew that Linka and Wheeler was always gone. You knew that was gonna happen, right? I mean, to my people who watch Captain Planet, you knew they was gone. You knew they was eventually gone. Yeah, it was happening. It was happening, girl. Don't nobody dig you like I dig you. I'm on fire for you. Boom. But yeah, I'm gonna drop some reviews on them. Maybe some little short reviews, just give y'all like a brief synopsis of what's going on in those books. And then we will move on to the live discussion where y'all, the Rock With Me Nation, get together and I will talk to you about it, or we can discuss it together. Whatever happens to occur, if you read the book, then we'll discuss it. If you didn't, I'll talk to you about it. All right. Paul Martin said, I like Diane. I've been reading comics since about 5 years old, yet don't own a single solo Wonder Woman comic. Then you don't like Wonder Woman? I mean, even when I was collecting, I didn't collect a lot of Wonder Woman. I might have had, because, back then, they're like, what you doing buying Wonder Woman? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we received that kind of pressure, that Generation X. You couldn't even buy a Wonder Woman comic book without somebody looking at you crazy. So, I managed to smuggle a few Wonder Woman comic books home. Yeah, if you wanted to get your fix with Wonder Woman, you had to buy Justice League. That's how I got around it. I got to see Wonder Woman in Justice League, but then when it became cooler, I started. I think in the late when I was in the Navy, I started. I like because the John Byrne run, when George Perez restarted in '86, and then John Byrne took over like close to 100 or whatever. Yeah, all of that. I like that Wonder Woman run. What Speed Racer homage is in Mobile Fighter G Gundam? Well, spill it. Tell us, damn it. Which one? Anyway, that is a horrible segue. How many Alien Earth fans we got out there? How many Alien Earth fans we got out there? Alien Earth. Anybody? How many of y'all watching Alien Earth right now? Anybody? I know Theo, if you still in here, Theo, I know you was rocking with it. I'm just gonna grab a quick image to guide us, maybe an image or two. It premiered on August 12th, and it has been going pretty good so far. So, how we feeling about Alien Earth? Here, let me get y'all some pictures, because y'all don't know how to. I ain't gonna say y'all don't know how to. I don't know what y'all don't know how to. Oh, was your. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do a discussion like this. Doman Kashu has Shining Gundam, which has the colors of the Mach 5. I didn't know that was an homage. DC Crack has always been in Justice League. Okay. T.O. Sellis is a goon. Yes, he is. His brother Kyoji protects him as a mysterious pilot using Shadow Gundam, just like Speed Racer. Okay, now I see the homage. Got it. Good one. Anyways, since Kamayo is the only one playing, I will bring y'all up to speed. Okay. Alien Earth. As you can see, yeah, free advertisement. Yay, them. Okay, let's do it like this. There. Now it's not free advertisement for them. Anyway, it takes place before the movie Alien. So that means Weyland Yutani knew about the xenomorphs. Cause they know about a lot more than xenomorphs. Let me tell you that, because Alien Earth is about anything but xenomorphs. Don't get me wrong. There are xenomorphs in Alien Earth, but there are also far more fascinating other aliens on Alien Earth. And it seems like the crux of the show is about aliens on Earth, not aliens on Earth. See what I'm saying? So we what Kamoyo say, they damn sure knew. Yes, they had to have known. If all of this shit was jumping off and Weyland Yutani was all up in it, oh, they knew what a xenomorph was. And this woman telling you in her report what it was, and y'all talking to her like she's crazy? fired her. Juju, yes. It is worth checking out. Because Alien Earth brings back more of the creepy alien aspect of it than the colonial marines we fighting aliens with pulse rifles sort of thing. It is if you like the original Alien, then you will like Alien Earth. Alien Earth leans more towards the gore and the horror and the creepiness than it does all out action. So, yeah, to me, absolutely worth checking out. Matter of fact, who is more sinister, Morrow or Kirsch? Let me look at them all. Because you know what? Here, I'm gonna just yank them all up on IMDb. Because a lot of the characters, I'll be honest with you, I don't know them by name, but I'm like, okay, that dude there, him who's the scientist. That's how I know a lot of them by what they do rather than, that one, that's an android, the little android girl or the little replicant girl, that's how I look at them. But let me pull up my good old IMDb app so I can get names and attach names to faces. Here we go. All right. Your question to me was, who is more sinister, Morrow Oh shit, Morrow by leaps and bounds. That last episode we saw, with Morrow and like the flashback episode where they was, Morrow. Yeah, he was head of security and he like, I'm taking over the ship and I wish one of you would tell me something different. They were scared of Morrow. They were, oh, I saw you humping on the ship. I know. He was busting them up. Yeah, Morrow all day, every day. Grand Madam said, I just started watching Alien Earth. The transhuman hybrids and other types of beings are in. Yeah, and there's 3 types. And it took me a while, like looking and because as you watch the episode and you got, I call them replicants. They're straight robots made to act like humans. Then you got the artificial people who are robots with humans' brains in them. And then you got the cyborgs like Morrow, who are still human, but they got cybernetic, you know what I'm saying? My man had a big ass Wolverine knife, in his hand. So yeah, they are definitely some kind, and that's the cat, the boy genius. What's his name? Cavalier, I think is his name. Yeah, boy Cavalier, the genius of Prodigy. But I put it like this, like somebody said it to me, and it made so much sense. You ain't heard nothing about no company named Prodigy in no other Alien movie. You heard about Weyland and Weyland-Yutani in other Alien movies, which take place in the future, which means Prodigy may not be around in the future. They might get absorbed into Weyland-Yutani, or they all together. I'm leaning toward, because Cavalier is kind of an asshole. I'm like, you take your dusty ass somewhere and put some shoes on, boy. Put on some shoes. Walk around here barefoot everywhere, picking on your toes, you nasty sewing stuff. I like Wendy. Wendy is so clueless. she just, why y'all gonna put a child in a robot body? That's the dumbest idea you ever could have come up with. They like 3 times stronger than humans, but they still scary like humans. But maybe like these are the prototypes, and excuse me, and eventually they get some soldiers, and you put soldier brains in there, and war works out for the better. Hooray! What's going on? Yeah. I got them figured. I got my IMDb open now. This series is a prequel to not a prequel. It occurs before. So if Aliens is the sequel to Alien, then Alien is the second installment. Or it's confusing. It all goes along. I can tell you the chronological order of the movies, but this is like third altogether. And when we talk about Alien Covenant, we talk about Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, all of that. The movies that came first are the movies that are last in chronological order. And then there's a chronological order, and you can add the Aliens versus Predator movies to the front of that, because that's what ends up sparking Wayland Yutani's research. Movie history. Have they ever done a story about a xenomorph Kryptonian hybrid on a planet with a red sun? That would be. There has been an Aliens and Superman, but I think something like that happened. I read Batman versus Predator, but I never read Superman versus Predator. I know there was a Superman versus Predator series, but I never got a chance to check it out. I don't know if anything like that happened, because Superman against xenomorphs is no fight for Superman. Putting children in adult bodies, yes, that is creepy as hell. Because that one, there was an episode they had one. She was glitching. She was glitching like a mug, and Dame Sylvia, I think is her name, was trying to talk to her, and she just pounced on her like a cat, like, I want to talk about it. She's like, all right, then. See, we gonna have to do you getting deactivated. You can't be jumping on me because your emotions ain't right. Yeah, they are all, yeah. And it ain't just, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what's so great about it, is that it's not just xenomorphs. We dive into the history of the replicants, the artificial people, all of that stuff. It's some good stuff. I'm in. Let's just put it like that. I'm in. I'm ready to rock with it. Hey, did y'all know today was 9/11? Did you do anything different today? Did you do anything with your flag? Did you go out and say, never forget? I don't think I thought about it one time. And that's not to take away from the significance of it, but simply to say, Some people were impacted by the event more profoundly than others. That's a diplomatic way of saying it. Yeah. Some people were more profoundly affected by it than others. I remember where I was. When it happened. I remember exactly where I was when it happened. I was asleep. Because, see, we a couple hours behind. So when that was going on in the morning, it was really morning for me. But my boy in Arizona, he just called me up, right? I answered the phone. He like, turn the TV on. And I'm like, what channel? And he like, it don't even matter. Just turn the TV on. And sure enough, WTF. Yeah, I remember that. I remember thinking, dang, how did they get close enough to crash a plane into a skyscraper without, especially on the East Coast? You got how many air bases, military bases? You can have some shit scrambled in 2 minutes and in the air? Never mind. I'm overthinking it. Anyway, it definitely had a profound effect politically on this country in the early 2000s. But I feel like it also gave us an excuse to create villains where there were none, threats where there were none. We always go with this thing where we say, blah, 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 blah is a threat to democracy. I believe that's code for they got some shit we want. Let's go take it from them. I mean, that's the short answer. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it could get a lot deeper than that. Grand Madam said, yeah, I remember it was 911, but with all the shootings, one decapitation, and body recovery going on, I just did a little prayer and kept it moving. Thank you, Grand Madam. Thank you, Grand Madam. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. Pearl Harbor, it was allowed to happen. Kamaya believes the World Trade Center attacks was allowed to happen. I got a lot of thoughts on it, but I'm not going to elaborate right now because we're at the minute 15 mark and I'm trying to be done in a minute and a half, an hour and a half. I don't really like to dwell on it, but I almost lost my brother-in-law that day. He worked in the towers and was his turn to take my niece to school. And again, let me say, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to diminish the importance of it. You feel me? In no way, shape, or form. But at the same time, I feel like what they tried to make a national issue or an international issue simply was a political issue. I mean, people did die. I'm not making less of that. Please understand that. But I'm just saying, if you didn't lose someone or you almost didn't lose someone, would it hold the same importance? Case in point, what is Memorial Day and Veterans Day to someone who has never been in the military, has never had a relative in the military, ain't did no ROTC, ain't don't even know where Army base is at? What kind of significance do those kinds of holidays have for those people? None. And by no fault of their own, it shouldn't. Because they are just not ensconced in that diaspora. That's all that is. So when I say 911 does not hold the same level of reverence for me as it does for someone else because they live in New York and experienced it firsthand, had somebody was in the towers, like Mr. Martin said, and then people didn't make it out of the towers, or you were somebody that volunteered and was dealing with the rubble and doing that kind of thing. Unless you had that kind of connection to it, it ain't got you doing or feeling no kind of way. I mean, y'all help me out here. Any comment? Come on, you say 100. Grand Madam said a Patriot Act that takes our liberties came about with 911. I remember that. It was a clear in-house setup. Yeah, but people wasn't woke enough to see it like that then. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing told us about this in the ISIS papers long time ago. I was off work that day and my boy called me too. Turn on the TV. Yeah. Mario said just a day off. It holds more importance for those who remember, but those just born 24 years ago don't really feel it like we do. Unless somebody talks to me about it or mentions it, I don't really feel anything. I mean, I feel like if I was closer to it or I had more of a connection to it, I might, you know what I mean? Okay. I might, am I being narrow minded? You know what I'm saying? Am I thinking because I'm, or insensitive? I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just want to make that clear. If I'm Yom Kippur and Hanukkah don't thrill me like they might thrill somebody else who's expecting a dreidel. You see what I'm saying? It's a diaspora thing, I feel like. You know what I mean? I could be wrong though. Was I the only one who thought Marvel's tribute, including their their canon, while well-meaning, was silly? Yeah, because when you got people with that much power, they ain't gonna let that shit happen. Y'all would have been better off having some superpower beings destroy the Twin Towers in the 616 universe rather than have it happen like it did and it just went down and no superpower beings was there to do nothing. As many damn superheroes that's running around fucking Manhattan, you telling me a plane hit a skyscraper and no superhero got there in time to do nothing? I'm just saying, would it have been sacrilegious or disrespectful to write that story different? Because I agree with you, Paul. It doesn't make any sense. Not in 616 New York. A plane crashing into a tower, Spidey Spider Sense wouldn't have went off. The Avengers wouldn't have got some kind of early warning. Shield wouldn't have got some kind of early warning. A regular old plane, not no Shi'ar technology, not no Wakandan technology, just a regular old airliner that got took over by radicals and they managed to crash that mud. And now wasn't no superheroes on Flight 93. Now one. Many superheroes running around. Wasn't nobody coming back from Dane Whitman wasn't coming back from England or Daniel Rand wasn't flying back from somewhere. Nobody on the plane. Nobody. You throw a stick at superheroes in the mall in the 616. Nobody. I agree. 100, man. It was silly. It was mad silly. Let me take a look. See, Yeah, these mugs, they still on hollering, screaming at each other. Talking about libtards, conservatives, I hate you too. I don't care. Oh my goodness. Are we at the unboxing already? Ooh. Wasn't no mutants on United Flight, was 93-8, whatever. Was none of that. Nah. Wasn't no villains nowhere. Nah. Dr. Doom down there surveying the damage, and ain't nobody jumping on his ass. Wilson Fisk over there surveying the damage. Ain't nobody jumping their ass. Magneto down. Magneto down. Didn't nobody accuse Magneto of doing that shit? So many other directions we could have went with this story, but hey, people were emotionally compromised at the time. And that's what I'm saying. And again, not making less of it. Never, ever, ever. Maybe because I was far removed from it. You might have a point there, Grandman. She said, I felt it and told my boss the Friday before the planes hit. See? That's what I'm saying. And from a 616 standpoint, yeah, I mentioned Shield. Y'all know Hydra infiltrated you, but you can't see a plane flying. Never mind. It's action figure unboxing time. Are we ready for the action figure? Are we ready? I'm ready, ready. Bam. Here we go. I ain't opened it. I just cracked the box that it was in. Ladies and gentlemen. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna stop. Okay. A while ago, I said to myself, I wanted this action figure. But realistically, sometimes it's like, ain't no way you ever gonna get that action figure. So if you collect action figures and you got some stuff that you want to get, you got you a watch list. And I know my man Theo can talk to this. I know my man Kamoyo can talk to this. You have a watch list. It ain't necessarily a list you say, I'm getting all of that, but you saying definitely on my radar. Definitely on my radar. Now, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I get my watch list cleared. And so then you like, what else do I want? You know what I'm saying? To put on my watch list. And Theo, you the one got me into this Action Force stuff. So I saw an Action Force figure that I really liked. I said, I'm going to get that. And it's been out a while. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a new one. It ain't nothing new. But you know what? Doggone it. It's a mighty fine figure. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Bone Collector. This is yes sir, it is the Bone Collector. And Bone Collector, I said I got to have you on my team just because of the helmet, bro. You're winning winning me over off of that helmet alone. And it's a card back. It's a card back. And I don't mind it being a card back. I got a few card back figures. I know how to, handle them and, take care of them and make sure they don't, what I'm saying, get to, because you want to protect the card back. It's all about still having that card back, because you can always take a little bit of tape and tape it back on there, and you can put it back on the card back just like that. Or what a lot of guys do, yeah, you're gonna get an action figure etiquette. What a lot of guys will do is they'll retain the plastic that it's in, and then you've got all of this, and you don't have to deal with a bunch of, but y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Action Force, Bobby. You can be quiet. Now, Bobby Valor doing his thing. Boss, just one. Please tell me you don't. They make me angry inside. They got those damned things that I hate. I hate that plastic stuff, man. And you put it all on the back, and can't nobody get the doggone action figure up out of there. Okay. There we go. The Bone Collector. I believe he's the garrison leader, but he's an angry fellow, as you can see. I likes that jacket, that flag jacket though. That's garrison issue, I believe. My man's got a mini rail gun. Oh, the barrel actually rotates. Nice. And of course, we got, how you just supposed to stick it in one of the holes? Bet. And you got the gun blast. Okay. That's a nice customization. He also comes with a machete. And of course, y'all like, shut up, D. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of that. Pull that damn mask out, bruh. Pull that mask out. Ram's head. Upside his head. Dude pull up on you in the middle of the night rocking that, carrying a rail gun. You're going to be concerned. Just a little bit concerned. Paul Martin said, have y'all ever customized a black or white Ken doll into a superhero or adventurer? No, Paul Martin, not a Ken doll. I would first have to have owned a Ken doll, and I have to confess, though I own many action figures, Ken is not one of them. I have taken a Mego action figure and attempted to customize it. Does that count? Because I have most assuredly done that. The 8-inch Mego figures that came with clothes, oh yeah, I meddled with those for a little while. That used to be my jam back in the day when I was a wee lad. I'm getting this gun in his hand because I know that's what you want to see. Grand Madam said he looks like a predator human hybrid. Wow. Okay. Okay. Not what I would have thought, but okay. I see him with your eyes now, Queen. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Let's turn you to the side. Oh, big. That hand should be there. And this hand should be. That's what we'll do. It's going to take a second, but we're going to get it done. Doggone it. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. There he is. Your bone collector. That'll be fun when I start animating. Oh, did I say that out loud? Shh. Keep that under your skirt. He also comes with a backpack and change of hand bandoliers and an extra drum for his rail gun. Goodness. And bullets falling out. So you could really make him look like he's shooting his rail gun. The helmet was the driving force behind why I got the figure. Because that will fit in so many other scenarios too. The Bone Collector, for your pleasure. That is another one marked off the bucket list. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I want a Dragon Man for Christmas. If somebody wants to get me a Dragon Man for Christmas, you can. Also, speaking of getting people things, I am having a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. What might you be giving away, D-Real? Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start advertising what I'm giving away at my 1,000 subscriber live video. Action figures. Action figures is where it starts. But I've got other things. This is the perfect opportunity for me to get rid of a lot of action figures because my wife might like that. But it ain't just going to be action figures. I've got lots of things. Lots of things. And like I said, this is a perfect opportunity to get rid of it. So tell all of your friends. The sooner I get to 1,000, the sooner we get to giving all of this stuff away. Now, as my friend Theo always says, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm trying to keep these lives down to an hour and a half, but if they, trickle over a little bit, that's okay. Oh, Saturday's my birthday. Can I get an action figure as a present? Yes, ma'am, you absolutely can. Send me your address and I will send you an action figure. Do you want a male action figure or do you want a female action figure, Grandma? Now, while she deliberates that and decides, like I said, trying to keep these down to a nice little low rumble. Again, what I was telling y'all earlier, I am going to female, say less. I got you. I am trying to incorporate another live, and I think that will be my comic book discussion live. So that will be for a total of 3 lives. Maybe Tuesday. Action Figure Tuesday still be Action Figure Tuesday, but do we want to do a live on Tuesday? Does Tuesday work for a live? Because I don't want to step on nobody's toes, because I don't think nobody's doing a live that I care about on Tuesday. So I may very well, yeah, I think we might rock that. We might do the comic book review, because then new comics come out on Wednesday, so I can get up to speed on the latest and then drop. Yeah, Tuesday. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, we now have lives. If I can find one more day to do a live, we'll be pissing in tall cotton, as my mama used to say back in the day. Look here, y'all. It has been a joy, a pleasure, and a privilege to come before the Rock With Me Nation and rock with y'all, drop knowledge, have fun, laugh, kick it. I like doing this with y'all. I hope we continue to do it. And I know we're going to be able to do it tomorrow night, because we're going to be doing it tomorrow night right here at this same time on this same channel. And my man Theo B going to be there with you. And we're going to be doing the Friday vibe. Bring what you drink. Bring what you smoke. And as I've learned from visiting Kansas City, that could be a cigar. People smoke cigars. Cigar smoking is an entire culture, as is cannabis. But we will talk about the things that incite us to discuss, things we like, things we don't like. But we're going to do it in the vibe way, because the vibe is the vibe, and we don't, But I don't want to belabor the point, y'all. Just make sure that, see, she know what's up. A cigar with Jack Daniels. You my kind of gal. All right, y'all. Look here. I will be getting at y'all tomorrow. I'll put the purse out for the live. Y'all make sure y'all get live. Tell all your friends. Come on, pull up for the pull up. That's it for now. Fred night, I'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until we do, y'all be good. Yeah. Y'all be good. And y'all be good to each other.